head. You try to mimic every move, every single stride, but there's a vacuum of talent where you're hollow inside. You're tracking every win like a frantic twin, but your point of view is getting pretty subjective. You've got HDS, Heidi deranged syndrome, obsessed with the best, can't find your way home. You've got GDS, joy deranged syndromes. Yeah, you're spiraling fast, nowhere to go when you're obsessed with the stars. You're stuck in the low. You've got HDS, Heidi deranged syndrome. Green-eyed monsters got a grip on your throat.
Dun, dun, dun. Someone's outside. All right, let's do a sound check for multiple reasons. Because the speakers might have been the one causing the crackling in the last few live streams, not the actual microphones. And the other part is that even when nothing was being messed with, every time StreamYard cuts out or the internet, it was crackling right beforehand and during. So something's up. So let's see if it's actually clear. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to take this off right now. So that's, so I can listen in and stuff. Heidi deranged syndrome, right? Pretty much. There's a few that are butt hurt. They could keep on being butt hurt. Good morning to Sarah. Hey, what is going on? And she says hello to the roomies. So today is an update on me. It's going to be about me, right? So we're going to talk about me today. A lot has happened in the last few days. The only short statement that I'm going to make that's already been decided is that I will be doing the live streams and George will be doing the walkabouts and stuff. And that's about all there is to mention right now. That it's worked out about as much as it worked out. So I'm not going to make this entire live stream about that. He's aware of the situation. And I told you that he's been busy at the family house. He goes out and does things. He's got this gaming channel. I'm just going to let him do him. If he doesn't want to be here, that's okay. So that's just where it is. He'll do the videos. He just did one recently, since just a day or two ago. And he did that since the last live he was here. First off, I don't know if I told you guys, Monday I'll be going to the cardiologist. I'm not due to go back so soon, but something else is wrong. I had to wear the oxygen all night, been tired. The pressure is back on big time on my chest. And so I will be going in there. And of course, all the tests will be set up again to see where the levels are. I'll bring some of that up later. Also, I have footage, and I'll probably get a strike from YouTube where I got bit by a cat. And I want to talk about those complications and dangers. As a matter of fact, cat bites here are so severe that they got bite centers on, I wouldn't say every corner, but in a short distance, they've got a bunch of bite centers. So whether it's for, where they think they need tetanus, rabies, it's for everything, probably from snakes to bugs to animals, but most of them are marked animals. So right after the live, I guess karma did bite me. And I stepped out to go get the package that was out there because there was a big one that was on the ground out there. It was the dog food, and I went out there. And as soon as I stepped out the door, we feed the strays, and I either stepped on his tail or his foot because the food bowl is near the stair, and I've been meaning to move that. And he didn't attack me, but he is a stray cat. But when he did, it was horrible. I was telling a few of my friends, I was like, it was like slow motion. The water gushed out of my legs because I'm severely in a fluid overload. I really should be in the hospital right now. Again, this is a cost factor, which is something I'll talk about because these are things that kind of pertain to what's going on, like right now, there's a lot going on in my life, and other YouTubers just don't talk about the things that are going on in life. They'll say that, but, I've tried not to hide these things. So not only did I get bit by the cat and my leg swollen up, I went and got a rabies and a tetanus, and now I'm on antibiotics, which is really messing my stomach up. And so it's just been really, just where it is. I appreciate everybody that's been reaching out. Hey, Fallen Center. And so just today, overall, it's going to be about my medical, how things can go bad. I want to hear from you guys on what's going on. You know, things can just go from absolutely where you feel it's good to worse. And most of it is medical, finances. And then the other side comes from relationship complications. The other side can come from like that. I guess that kind of falls into the medical category. But it kind of gets squirrely in the Philippines. So Franken the toadfish. That's not nice. That's the song we put out. That means it is what it is on there. Right. So the sound is okay. No crackling or anything. Yeah. That was the name of the AI song. Yeah. It's a song that we've had for a while that we created. Good morning, Slick. All right, so what's the deal? There's 83 people in the room. Let me know where you guys are. Let me know what's going on. Tell me about things that you've heard of that's gone bad. Either I've got 80, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, got 70 people in there that are just peeping and everything. So I don't know what you guys are really looking for today, but this girl is moving forward. What's been going on in my life is not new. And, I had to think about a balance this morning, whether I was going to go on, show video proof, go on in this and that. And you know what? Everything's already spoke for itself. And I'm good. Nothing new in my life except for my medical. And I'm going to look out after me and the cats. And life goes on. Big time, guys. So am I missing something, guys? Sometimes I feel like this is a ghost town. If y'all were in it, and I'm going to say this because it's true. If I was dancing half naked as a Filipina, or if I was certain channels that say little to nothing, you guys would be making comments. I don't get why there's this many people in the room that isn't even responded to one thing I said. It's, I'm not sure. I'm gonna wait for you guys to ask some questions here. And I'll play a video here in a minute, or I guess we're waiting for a room build up at this point. I guess the biggest thing, it's a disappointment. You all thought I would come in here bashing and telling you more. It's been what it's been. For those that have been regular watchers, they already know what's going on. So you're not gonna. It was a thought, though. It was a real thought. But that's all there is. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Tracy's Corner. Good morning. Let's see. Slick said the sound is good. Sarasota Tim, I will, if you watched it before the stream got pulled, or if you've ever watched us, it's already been said. Not going to address that. Hey, what's going on? Good morning, Keldon, Ronham. I'm in, how do you say that? Middasop, North Cabolta. Cabolto, not Cabolta. Yeah. And Sarasota Tim on the side, you must be from those 2, 3 other channels. And the answer is he's got his own income. So it's, he's got a family that is financially majorly secure. He's got his own bank account. He's got another source of income. He's his own man. So that money is for me and for my medical and taking care of households. So, and I will answer that. So as a Filipina, it's humiliating if an asawa has another. Are you talking about like dating somebody? Hey, Tracy, good morning. Make sure I got to stop moving around. I know that messes with the audio. Good morning, Tracy. Okay, and that's understandable. This is not always the factor because we've had 100 people in the room and little to no comments come in. It's always been like that, even before any incidences or how straightforward. I wasn't going to hide that. The only statement I'll make is that the live stream the other day was turned off due to respect to his family. I could have left it on. Secondly, the incident is he was asked not to come here when he was in a bad mood, and he came here anyways. Told you guys that in advance. And that's all I got to say. So I understand the intensity, but people have been in here, and it's drama that people are looking for. And I think it's quite the opposite. I don't mind the questions being asked if they're mature comments or if they're, legit or the whole situation, because there's so much misinformation out there. So the sad thing that I can say is, who people are. Most the comments on other channels that have been talking shit are basically that he's in the right situation and I'm wrong, and I expected that. So that's just the way life goes. So, those people are probably in here watching now, and I think silence is a part of it. But unfortunately, this is what we've been doing. And even if things get intense, this is the day and age of intensity. So in other words, people have, it's the internet. So I don't get it. Like you guys were shocked that any of this was happening. You guys don't think those other couples there was other crap going on? Of course there is. Probably even on a daily basis. They just didn't happen to put it on air, and that's good for them. So, but from here, we'll just keep it separated on air, and he can do videos and I'll do this. So Nothing more to it. So, yeah, you must be new to the channel. The answer is no. Um, able to and wanting to are two separate things. And with the current, what I would call a crisis, multiple things going on, there is, I mean, I thought about that. Of course, I'd want to go home. And it's the same with the medical. I don't have the ability. I was not able to stand more than a minute yesterday, is how bad I was. So I'm not making it in a wheelchair and sitting up 16 hours in an airplane. It's an impossible. I have 3 specialists, and all 3 said absolutely not. I have a blood clotting issue, and I have APS, and I have lupus in my joints, fibromyalgia, and my heart is almost totally cut off. I'll play a video later showing that, because again, multi-channels are stating these are all lies. So, and it's kind of weird. Any idiot that actually feels they can tell people that it's all lies and a scam, you are who you are. So the same one that makes fun of weight or color, and by the way, the person is a serious racist, one of the channels anyways. So it's just immature stuff. But also, it's being said that I don't have the ability to go back because there's charges against me, so I will not go back. That is a lie too. I'd rather go sit in jail than to deal with what's going on here. I promise you. I will sit up there and do 20 years if I think I could get my heart fixed right now. And anybody that knows me knows I'm standing on that. You guys are full of shit. Why would I sit here and die versus go back and serve what people are saying over credit cards or something? One, they don't put people in jail over credit cards. And the other lies is that there's just a bunch of felony warrants, which, what the fuck? You really think that's the balance of me staying here with all my issues? No. So sorry, it's an off situation. So no, I cannot. If I could, I would go back. So this is the answer for people watching multi-channels that are saying this, because a lot of you guys are new and it's not normal for any of our live streams. So, wow, a lot of new names. Yeah, these new people are just what you were saying earlier, Sarah. And I expected it, and I'm going to say a few things anyways. Unfortunately, I just think about the maturity level that somebody would say that, yeah, let me sit here and think about it. I'm in my early 50s, and I'm going to sit here and die versus go back over credit card bills. You stupidest shit I ever heard. And it's amazing how people get in line to sit there and talk about, I hope she dies. You know how many times I've heard that this week, besides in my own house? So it's, I don't warrant that under any circumstance. I haven't done anything to anybody. I ain't put my hands on you. I haven't called nobody on you. I haven't come into your chat and disturbed these people. What gives them the right to say, I hope she dies, the e-beggar? And I'm like, dude, okay, whatever. So that's kind of the level it's at. It's not going to interrupt my life. What George was doing is not going to interrupt my life. It's a moving on situation, but you can't change things, and then you actually go on. CDL talking about George of the Jungle. That's a song he's heard for quite a while. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. I did cover that in the beginning. Let me see if I can find basically the topic. I did. It was done in the beginning. And it's when he came in and disturbed the live. He actually came in, just to give you a nutshell, and I'm not going to go fully into it. He came in and he didn't say he was going to be here, wasn't supposed to be here because of prior issues. And he came in and just totally disrupted the live, carrying in a chicken from outside. And I'm like, okay, I tried to play cool for a while until there was some popping off. And it was about the electric bill. And the electric bills are getting ridiculous. So he sat down for a while, and we did. I played a video. So the subject was the electric bills are doubling here. And people that had 2,000 a month, which is still high for a Filipino, has gone to 4,000 to 6,000. People are going from 6,000 pesos, to 12. And the highest bill I seen was a business for 335,000 pesos. And I'm like, there ain't no business that can handle that. And so costs are going up globally. Everything going on is affecting everybody globally. So, yeah, so I've been talking about that. So that's basically what it is. So basically today I'm talking about me. I'm going to be discussing how things for me are getting more complicated. Um, I've discussed stuff like this before, and I also got bit by a cat a few days ago, and I had to go get rabies shots and everything. Now my leg's messed up. I have congestive heart failure, and I got a bunch of issues going on. I'll go ahead and play the video so you guys can see. And more than likely, I'm going to have to cut it out down the road. So give me a minute. And let me know if you guys can hear this. Let me put my headset on here because I'm not going to be able to hear it. Okay, so he got me in multiple places. I stepped outside, and this has all happened in the last few days. So I went to go get the package that was sitting on the ground outside from the delivery driver, and the cat was on the stairs, and he just chomped into my leg several places, and it was a nightmare. And with my fluid retention and with the fluid overload, because my heart's pumping little to no blood, which, by the way, I have it's most of the doctor stuff that I have from testing that's been less than 60, 90 days ago. I think it's been 60, it might be 90, but it's just recent, and I'll get them done again probably this coming week, and I see the doctor on Monday. But anyways, he got me good, and my leg is currently swollen. I'm on antibiotics, and it was
bit in 2 places, maybe 3, by the cat. I was just bit.
The other things that you're seeing on my legs, for those that don't know about fluid overload, when the heart is not pumping correctly, the water in your body, no matter how big or small, retains to the cells of like the inner wall cells, inner side of your body and the cells. And those holes are where I get blisters, and it leaks out anyways. And my legs have been leaking. It leaks either blood and water or both. And this is because my body is retaining X amount of water because it's failing. For those that need to educate themselves, the other part of it is that my complications, for the most part, and I'm going to say that, no excuses, I already admitted I like donuts, so just get over it, is that I have APS, which is a clotting blood disorder, and that's more than likely what's clogging my arteries right now, the doctor said, and the lupus. So it's attacked all my major organs, and with the fluid this backed up, I'm sleeping in a hospital bed that's cranked up, because if I try to lay like a regular person, then I can't breathe. And so the complications like this, the first thing I'm thinking is I'm going to lose my leg, and it's not over. I mean, antibiotics and these vaccines may not even help with the tetanus, but was me freaking out.
So I went outside to get the package, and the cat got me. It's the stray cat. Fuck.
Right. That was
This is
no, it was, there was fluid.
This means I probably need a rabies shot or tetanus or something. Oh shit.
The pain was unreal, guys, because he went deep in several places. Okay, so that was the end of that.
Oh,
And then the rest goes into my medical, because that seems to be what's on the trolls and people's mind that don't know what's going on. I have and are seeing multi-specialists. I see a rheumatologist, which is a lupus doctor. I'm seeing a lung doctor and been given several medications. So now I'm probably on like 16 different pills a day. That's the blood test, and that's me. That was louder than I thought. This is just me at the heart doctor, probably less than a month ago, was getting blood work. Medical overall is not that expensive. The complication, like that was for one set of blood work. They have like therapy there at our doctor office, and that's a cardiologist. And by the way, all three doctors, it's a no-go. I will die on that airplane, and I'm not risking it. There's George. Get down, TT. What are you doing, TT? Jump down. All right, so let's talk about, and I have the test further here. I have, I don't know, a third of my blood that's going through properly. It's back. So my stroke volume index is an 11. It's an extreme complication and sign of blockage, and it's actually the widowmaker. How I'm still alive is all a pure miracle. Maybe to give my testimony right now, but that's where I'm at. I don't expect with a new echocardiogram scan that this is going to change. Why? Because my blood is so thick because of what I actually have. And the complications of lupus also may or may not allow me to have the stents. So that's even worse. When I go in tomorrow, I'll have them put it in writing about the surgery, because more than likely I'm going to need open heart surgery. And for those that were asking, and I was trying to come up with a number, it's not easy on the top of your head. Stents, he said, with complications and things going on, and I need to be in the hospital. It's going to, if I go in right now, as sick as I am, first I have to be cleared up before they do that. And they'll probably put me in ICU for a day or two. And just because I'm saying this, you guys are like, oh, well, she's that sick. Why is she even here? Well, that's exactly what's going on. I can't fly home, and I don't have the money to go in and sit in ICU right now. That would wipe out every bit of money that I've had. So altogether, if I do, the stents could be, give or take, I think he said 2 million pesos. And that's to put me in, which is about 40,000. The other part is, I think I can take this off now. I can barely hear myself, probably talking too loud. The other part is the CABG, the coronary artery bypass graft. And the reason he's saying that is what is needed. The stents pretty much are not even on the table, but I'm going to have them talk and actually say what's going on, is because of the lupus and the amount of blockage because of the blood issue. And the longer I wait, the more complicated it gets. So the EKG, the blood work, and the scan are showing there are good things and bad things going on. The blockage is clearly showed by this. Also, I have a valve that's starting to go out. When this started, that's what I thought was going on. So, and this is for people that haven't seen any of this. I've been talking about it the last few times. It's the same with this is all the other stuff going on. There is a lot of pressure on what's going on in my lungs. It's at a 90. A mean PAP is pretty bad. Now, the 38 and 42 on each side of my heart is not the worst. A lot of people are, oh, well, she has, it's not down to a 12 or a 14. Yeah, that's indicating a different side of congestive heart failure, but I have coronary artery disease. So not only is my heart weak and it's got other issues, but my arteries are clogged on top of it. It is two different things. Same, but not the same is the best way to tell you guys on that. The same with my lymphocytes. That shows that the lupus and my heart are putting major strain on my body, and active lupus flare in the results and everything. So they told me when I had the recent tests with the new medications, because we had that blood work done a month ago, they're claiming it's an inactive situation, but then again, the tests are showing this too. And they said it could be a combination with the heart going out and the lupus. So I still take my lupus medications. So there's been a lot of support, guys, a lot of support. And then you got a lot of ignorance out there that, you know, why a person would avoid going back to America when they can for the F of it. So then they make up other stuff. Then you got the other ones. It's just like me and George would sit around and be like, wow, what maturity. And you can't actually, it doesn't matter what you say. Those are just that type of people. But there have been a lot of people curious. So this is why I'm reiterating it. So this was what where the test that he actually ran. There's the CRP, which is just saying how swollen the body is. I know a lot of this probably won't mean a lot to you guys. And also the other one, see, there is the cholesterol and everything. So if you're under 200, then you're okay. I was at 236. The reason it's high is because of my APS. And I asked him, I said, well, what if I had pizza this week? Or what if I had anything with oil? He goes, yeah, that can offset it. But he said, you know, I've never had high cholesterol, believe it or not. And so there's that. Potassium, everything was fine. I'm not diabetic. 84 out of a possible 115 is not bad. There was something else that was off on that. I know I'm probably boring you guys. All right, there's where it's showing my mean PAP for those that are saying that was made up. So that's indicating my lungs are failing. I'm on a bunch of meds and I have an extra machine to do treatments. Oh, and there it is. My diagnosis is in the chart, and there it is, congestive heart failure. So the last one is going to show you the SV1 of 11, and it shows there's little to no blood. If there's little to no blood going through your body, you're going to have swollen legs, rock hard legs. I've fallen several times in the last month. I can't stand certain times. I can only sit up for so long. This will indicate there's not one person alive with a nurse in a wheelchair and 24-hour oxygen that can make a minimal trip of, I'm sorry, getting on an airplane at this point, here comes their excuses, they say, is, let me take this down. They were actually saying that it's all excuses. So here's the deal. There's no way, has nothing to do with size. They're like, oh, she's going to need several seats. Okay, I'm a big girl and your asses aren't. I could tell you right now, the guy running his mouth the most is a plus size guy. But I didn't need one on the way here. I'm not going to need one on the way out. So you can say whatever. Secondly, there's no way I'm going to sit on a domestic flight right now. When you're in the air going back to the U.S., it is a 16-hour up in the air. Someone said I can take it in piecework, and I can't do that either. It's still 16 hours in the air. The most I've done was that 5-hour live stream the other day, and that was unreal. And I was running on adrenaline because of what happened. Let's see if that's the stupid chickens out there, dogs going off. There's your protection. The other part is even if I got, what do you call that, business class, and I could lay down, because I can't lay down because of my lungs full of water and what's going on, that would be an impossible. So let's say I just took all risk, blood clots, came up with a $5,000-$6,000 ticket, which, by the way, that's where I'll say I don't have the money. I have somebody there. I have insurance when I get home. The complication comes is people think if I get a nurse, that's going to put me home. And it's not. What is a nurse going to do? Rub my feet or something? It doesn't work like that. You know, there are layovers. And even if I do a straight through flight, Not many people is going to pay $5,000-$6,000 to go home. They're not going to med flight me. Nobody's going to loan me the money for that. Sorry, that's $100,000 flight to med flight back. And that's pretty much what I would need. So the income wise, I don't have it, never claimed to have it. And so that's where things come into complications for those that have been curious about it. And then you just add in that I'm doing a lot of things on my own now, and which complicates things. I mean, it's not helping my medical condition to be alone now most of the time. The other part of it is going to be this bite. Now I got to wait and see what happens with the bite. I wasn't going to mention it to you guys, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. And that takes forever to get through that process. It's a long waiting process. So no, cat scratch fever. Yeah, is a real thing. Thank you, Tracy. The cats are having fun. They're playing in a little box. So let's see. Just reading through here. Yeah, cat scratch fever is a real thing. Got my dad and then my mom a few years later, hospital stay. Yeah, so it'll be a real miracle, just like me still being alive. And I'm not going to sit here and feel all bad because I'm still alive, being called a knee beggar and all that. Either people are going to help me or they're not situation. And I don't mean that in so much sarcasm as it is the ones running their mouths and being nasty. They do that to everybody. They're nasty in their own house. Don't say it's because I'm mean to George or I'm mean and nobody deserves to be wished dead. Nobody deserves to have the level of immaturity and dumb shit that's being said. It's not changing anything. And don't you think if it was, I'd be asking for other stuff? Why would I totally make up all this stuff when it actually shows me there? So those people won't be satisfied even if they do see the funeral. So those type of people don't matter. They've already got a sad existence. So that is the truth. Bring that back up. Hey, Black Grandpa, what is going on? I do. Yesterday, I thought I was going to the emergency room finally. And there is a level, and this is the second time I've been brought to it, but one, I didn't want to go in the middle of the night. Two, I know it's going to wipe out the money totally. And I could be in there longer, and if it's ICU, it's even worse. I need the fluids removed from my body. And it's going to need to be done at least twice a year. And as I said, if stents are not gotten or a coronary bypass, the longest a person usually lives that gets no treatment and is getting minimal like I am with meds, I think they said 1 to 5 years. And I've mentioned this for those who say, oh, I thought you said she was dying in a few days. No, that is what they're saying. They've actually, I'm not bringing in hospice or any of that. We got the bed because I need the bed because I have to sit up. I need to, it's an actual hospital bed, cheaper than another type of bed. So it's the one that I got. And it is down to day to day. If I go in right now, they're going to say the exact same thing. But here I am. Miracle. I'm a miracle. That is true. Misery loves company, Heidi. Don't let them. No, they're not. They think they are. And I thought the other day, it was like, I said out loud, go ahead and use the content. I knew the same idiots would be making content because they just would. I knew that. So it's like they don't, but there's a level knowing you're dying and the people are in there like, I hope she dies or she deserves it. And this has been through other channels ever since I started YouTube, even when people didn't see me and George fighting on air. They didn't see George pop off all the time, but then all of a sudden he started to feel like, ooh, George is spicy. And it's what we are. We're a couple, right? And it was always on me. And I said, well, that's, I knew going on the internet would make me a target. Plus size girl, American, older, the Social Security check. It is what it is. They're not getting to me. Because I'm talking about them doesn't mean I'm getting to them. What they're doing is they're fascinated. That's the Heidi deranged syndrome song that I wrote. And that's what it is. I actually think it's funny. And I think it's pathetic and beyond that type of person that would actually make those statements and go on about half the stuff that they're saying. It's like, I just don't. And these are 50, 60, and 70-year-old men. They were never going to change. Those are the racist, bigot, pig-headed, just the worst of the worst that are saying this. The fact that most of the people on these multi-channels hanging out on the channels, they just hang on those channels. They're the dark channels that have nothing better to do. But I'm in good company. I'm in good company because they pick on everybody. It just means that I made it. So, yeah, I don't know what the must be Georges. Never said that. And that's another thing. That's what's exactly being said. Now, what'd she do? Well, I already said it. I'm not innocent. Not by any means. I've yelled. We've pushed each other like Ike and Tina Turner. I've said all this. But nothing warrants anything going on. So it's best that we just don't go on air and just continue our lives. George is a good person. I'm a good person. We're not everybody's cup of tea. That's for sure. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. You're welcome, Heidi. Here it is. Everyone did the video on World Zoom, and I got an answer for this. Every man and many others. It's all about the story of the day and the clicks. Yeah, I would agree so. But most of them that covered it, like when we covered it, we would say, okay, make sure you do this and make sure you do that. We try to make sure there's a point in talking about it. The one channels, there's probably a dozen of them that do that for the clicks and that. They all do it. We all do it. That's for sure. But a lot of them go dark like they did on Every Man. Who the hell goes in and wishes him dead too? And it's just wild. I don't get these people. I just don't. It's, same with World Zoom when he was in there. I hope something happens to him. I hope he never gets out. Nobody deserves that. So, but it makes sense. I thought maybe you were going to say something. We covered other people, so people are covering us. No, when we expect it. We really do. It is fair game. But here's the thing. When you add on so much extra and you're fully defamating both sides, the expat and the Filipino, and when you're going in there and just adding stuff, it's not even a possibility. You really think all of that extra is going on. It's like, I don't get why people believe how they're that vulnerable and just follow what these guys say. It's entertainment. He's trying to entertain people. Or they are trying to entertain. Trying to. American Airlines Spirit went bankrupt, 17 out of a job. So they did officially. I know they've been talking about it. It's sad. As one of the, all the airlines have their own issues. But it's just one of those, not everybody can afford those super expensive tickets. My regular electric bill, $4,000 to $6,000. My recent bill, so it's doubling. I did the video that I have, and I was going to cover it again today because I've seen a bunch more people. Let me see if I can see. I had taken some screenshots. It was something unreal. But imagine, like us, we're not getting $3,000-$4,000 a month. We don't have double pensions and a bunch of extra money flowing around. So imagine just being a Filipino. And somebody was asking about call center jobs the other day. And I'm like, dude, don't even think about it. And somebody says, yeah, if you're willing to be paid $8 to $10 a day for 12 hours, then go ahead. Because the guy thinks he's coming here to get a call center job. And it's like, even if a Filipino is making 30,000 a month, some of those electric bills were 32, 33,000 pesos. I don't know how it got that. And they're not businesses, by the way. There was a bunch of other charges. The hair's drying my lips out. Right? Oh, dang, man. No. George wanted to know, did he literally just attack my leg? Did he jump on me and bite? That would indicate he's rabid. He's not rabid. So, but I still ended up getting the vaccine and a tetanus anyways. I either got his foot or his tail, or the door hit him, because he was behind the door and I stepped forward. So either it scared him and then he jumped at me, or I literally got his foot, and because he yelped and then chomped, and I was like, oh shit. And I said, karma. I said, I ain't gonna lie. I ran my mouth. I said some shit. And I do believe in that. I do believe in a balance. I don't think I deserve to die quicker from, a tetanus infection than my heart disease. Is like now it's like a race and stuff. It's like, but yeah, no. My mistake is, that's another thing people talk about, is us and the animals. There's so many in the Philippines. You can't rescue them all, kind of like you can't rescue every Filipino. And like when I first got here, I was constantly like giving money and trying to help people, and you just can't do it for everybody. It's like the cats. I probably feed a dozen outside, probably 5, 6 show up in the morning, and they're regulars. I've been feeding them for several years now, and he's one of them. And inside, I have a crap load of cats. And then George got me a Siamese. Another Siamese showed up at the door, all sick, and I had to take care of him. So I don't mind it. We usually rehome them, but it takes forever to actually do that. So yeah, I love animals. You're going to fault me for that also. It's wild on that part too. And then he brought home some chickens. Now, why he brought those 2 chickens over, I have no idea, but I guess I'm getting eggs. Now, I will let you know I am getting eggs. So I'm like, you all can say all you want about my chickens, but the fact that he's feeding us, then I'm good. So it's, they're not the largest eggs because he's a medium-sized chicken, but still get those eggs though. Yeah. Somebody was trying to explain the global situation the other day, and how they're like, oh, well, America's got all that gas, and why aren't they bringing the prices down? This is ridiculous. No, it goes by global market price and what the barrels are being sold for, and currently what's going on. Also with the situation in the Middle East, I don't know if any of you others, I know you don't like, oh, here she is going to get into politics. I am. They're claiming that he has terminated this situation, and that's because he's at that 60-day mark. What he's going to do is announce it's back, and then he'll get right back in. I don't know if it's another 60 days, but it's not over. Everybody's still there. And that doesn't mean it takes a while to pull out. But as long as that's all going down and the Hormuz is closed, we're all going to pay. And things are getting ridiculous on cost. Even here it is. Even here it is. So where's my other... It's either troll or roll, man. Hey, what's going on? So I got these on. Now these are reading glasses, and I don't need them for that, but small writing on the phone. Yeah, see, matter of fact, that messes me up. I only need it for how little the writing is on packages or the phone. I guess George isn't taking his vows for richer or poorer, sickness and health serious. Like I said, we're both going through something, and I'm not going to fault him for that. He can just have his time, and that's all. It's where it is. I'm going to move on, and it's just where it is. And it's better at this point for, as I said earlier, the live streams together. He's been busy doing other stuff anyway, so he can just stick to the video side and going through and doing stuff. He has access to the account. He goes through and answers comments. It's just the way we're going to keep it. And he already slowed down. We used to do 5 live streams or 6 a week together, and then it got down to a few, and then 2, and then it's 1 or 2 a week now together. And Might as well. I'm never going to see that again. So unfortunately, that much I can speak upon. And he's already agreed. So he was already agreeing, but yeah, it's all good. The Philippines needs to go to heat pumps. I installed a heat pump in the US. My bill was cut by 2/3 conventional air conditioning. The Philippines has no jet fuel, and the price of tickets is more than regular first class. Yeah. So when people keep asking that, I'm pretty much on a month-to-month basis of my Social Security and a little extra. And that's actually going into the medical. And unfortunately, it's the damnedest thing that the trolls and haters and everybody has the answer of go home. It doesn't matter. And I believe Philippines, you're the one that said something about medical being covered as an emergency. I am in an emergency. I talked to the embassy twice, and the guy said still no. He didn't say go. Guys, it's critical right now. It's critical. Why I'm not dead, I have no idea. And this is not made up. I need to go and be in the hospital for 7 to 10 days. Now, if George wants to show up with the money, then I'll actually go. And then you guys can have all the footage you want of what's going on. I can't afford right now to pay that kind of money. So it would be extremely expensive. So 4,000 or 5,000 for a week. And I know that's not expensive compared to the US. And yes, my life is depending on it, but the same with the ticket to get home. First off, I can't make it home. Let's say I risk my life, I'm not going to be in pain, and double risk it by not whatever, then we're talking a first class. That's an extreme amount. So let's just say I just risk it all the way around and do it anyways. And I have a blood clot and then I die anyways. It's just wild how people always have an answer no matter what. No matter what. Scheming, scamming, no good, past criminal, ugly, fat, old. She's why everybody left. And it's like, dude, what's up? Who hurt you, little boy? It's like, wow, and it's not even good shit. Hell, I've made more fun of myself than they are, but Christ's sake, dudes. She just won't. Hell yeah, I will. Shit, free rent, a little bit of friends, a bunch of bitches. I'd make the whole goddamn prison my bitch. I'd go back if I had a warrant, bitches. Sit there and get my free medical. Are you even fucking kidding? Shit. They like being in prison now with what's going on. And I'm in prison with some chickens and cats. I'm in prison with some chickens and cats. Yeah. And they're running out of everything. So it's supposed to roll up here in another month. Notice how, like America, changing the news, kind of like the stock market being manipulated right now. Oh, it's all over with and blah, blah. Bam, I bet you in a few days he comes back with, hey, it's back on again. And then it has to run through crawling. I'm pretty sure it just keeps redoing itself. And it's what's going on with the voting rights and a bunch of that stuff being terminated. I can't believe what people went through and fought for things that are just being destroyed. And that's all I got to say about that. And if that makes me a Karen, that's exactly what it does. I'd rather be on the right side of history than what's going wrong with the other sides. You guys can figure that one out. And there was something else I was going to say. But here, sorry, what I meant to say, I got distracted by reading. What it means is now in the news, they're not showing anything about the gas prices and how things were. They were quickly on that subject of how bad things were going. And now it's mostly about the termination of the vice president and all that. And I get that might be more popular, but here in another month, it'll be, there's no more rice. I'm like, oh, there's a nice surprise. Not that's going to happen. Hey, guys remember the sugar crisis during the pandemic? People freaked out. There was like no sugar on the shelves here in Angeles and Mavalacat. Like there was none. It was crazy because they had a sugar shortage and the importations weren't happening. So then people panic buyed. Then they were threatening if they found out who had the sugar. They found it in warehouses. It was crazy making fake sugar. And how do you make fake sugar, man? Split Split air, years ahead of the window air heating pumps, and is light years ahead of the split air cons. Yeah, easier said than done. I tried that in Mexico and it still got hot, and I tried that before I left when I was in Florida. I'm training myself to live without air conditioning. It's getting crazy expensive in the Philippines. Oh, so that's right, you're here. Sorry, dude, I just realized. How's it going? Yeah, good luck on that. And no. Yes, for stints. And that's if there is like, that is, and here's the thing, the AI cost is not the real deal. I've actually sat down and talked to AUF, and that's exactly because they're going to need those people, and more than likely it's just not one. If it's one, it might be at that 800, 900,000 mark, but it's probably not. So I can't enter the hospital if I don't have the money. I'm not going to be held. And there are laws. I found another law the other day that says they can't even ask for the deposits, but you can't rely on that. It said private or whatever. There's another act. Supposedly you can't be held, and supposedly they're supposed to let you go, kind of like in America, they don't hold you. And allegedly there's one they can't even ask for the deposits. And it's real. But do they adhere to it? Hell no. They'll ask you. People like that guy that was in the hospital ended up dying from a surgery when he broke his hip and everything. They were putting that money up left and right. That was a public hospital and out in the province, and they were making him come up with this money. They did not do a hip surgery knowing he was infected, knowing that his body was filling with fluids. They didn't even do a life-saving procedure on an expat. He died in that hospital. By the time he got the money, after a week, he passed away. And this is my fate. This is my fate. And I thought about how karma rolls around, like me covering when Mark Thornton died of his heart issues, because Mark knew he was dying. Hello. And it's like, I think about it and I'm like, I brought myself here. They could be just as bad in America. The only difference is I would go into the emergency room and have the fluid removed. It would extend my life. Why I'm waiting for stents. But I'm telling you, I don't think stents, I know I've said it, I don't think stents is going to be the thing. My doctor is not even talking about stents anymore. It is open heart surgery because there's just too many complications. And with me, I'm a complication anyways. Comorbidities, everything that's going on. So it's just a complicated case. And just like Mike said, go look at that other video. It's a complication, guys. Full complication. Good morning, Rob. Good morning. Airline tickets are still cheap, less than $300 round trip to Thailand. Oh, wow, sweet. Good morning, Raymond. Yes, I'm in good spirits. It kind of sucks because I thought I had cut out on most of salt, and I've slipped up and I've had like breaded chicken that was from the Korean shop and everything. It's not like I sit and eat an entire bucket. But even that, I found out 2 small pieces, where they get the little chunk chickens that's like that. And I'm like, oh, what harm? Cut it up, put it on some wheat bread. What harm can this be with some mustard? A lot. Those 2 pieces was my day. 2 small pieces. Let me see if I can give you, I don't even have anything to reference it to. I don't know, a small, not even, it's not that much. It's not a double stacked sandwich of chicken. And it was just chicken breast, but I guess they just layer it down with sodium. The same with the tortillas. I think it's Old Mission that's here or something. One tortilla was like 700, I think it's milligrams or grams. I can't remember which it says, but it's half my day of sodium. So there was time I cut that chicken up and put it in there. I'm like, oh, well, if I make my own dressing and avoid the salt and all that, and the whole time it's just like you just don't realize. No chips, no nothing. Okay, you just can't do any processed food. That's fine. I already feel I'm over 55. I'd like to have my processed food, but nothing, guys, nothing. So I am cooking and prepping meals, have been for a few months. Now, I did find out Krispy Kreme donuts are okay and approved by the doctor. I ain't even kidding. The sugar, and he said in modifications, put 3 in your mouth at the same time. No, if you do it in moderation, I think there's 14 grams of sodium in that. Yeah, compared to a bag of chips or something else. Like, I'd almost say, I'm not dying situation. No, unfortunately, that's where I'm at. And the last time we had donuts was Valentine's Day. So it just stinks, guys. So it's not like it's my only thing that I'm doing. But when you're in a hospital bed most of the day in the house, guys, I'm going to show you my crappy house here. Um, there is my oxygen machine, and there is, I don't even know how much, there's the hospital bed. So that is what I'm up against, staying in that most of the day. It's uncomfortable. I just can't get comfortable anymore. If I'm up too high, it causes issues, and it's just, it's a struggle, but I find good in everything. So it's why I want to keep doing. I told you guys when George didn't appear that it was because I wanted to talk with the people. And then anybody watching the videos or contributes, it already goes into an account. It's an actual account that is, the YouTube money goes into the account for medical. So there's a bonus to it. So, there's one blessing that's coming from George is it's all going to medical. His family will support him in any way. I will support him in any way. He's free, comes here, comes see the animals, everything. It's all good, guys. So just, it is what it is. My Pinoy wife had heart surgery here in Canada. It cost nothing out of pocket and would have died if she was in the Philippines. That's the unfortunate. I didn't think about that. We came during the pandemic. George's business relied on, he had it for almost 10 years with his ex-wife. He had been divorced about a year or year and a half when we met. And he was fully running it on his own. And when that hit, we weren't allowed to put everybody was dealing with going to their house and doing things. And so the essential worker thing came up, the employees took their checks and took off, and it just totally, and if he was still there, the gas thing would have wiped him out for the employees to travel. And so it was just, but when we made that decision and then decided to sell whatever and come, medical, we did have insurance for a while, medical insurance. And my Medicare, the first 30 days was covered by a supplement. Some of them do cover the first 30 days outside the country. Some of them, if you go back and forth, will cover an emergency. You might want to check into this. This is just what mine told me that time. That I couldn't keep additional insurance because mine was initially travel, and then getting it in here, we kept getting like $600 a month because of my lupus and my APS. And I'm not just 20 pounds overweight. I never denied that I went, 3X girl. Okay, yeah, something like that. But I'm a plus size girl, guys. And so when you're overweight, that's it. I mean, you're overweight, you have medical conditions, it became, the longer I was here, there was an issue, and a lot of people like, oh, well, you should have went home. And yeah, but after we sold everything, do you realize the transition back home, how bad it is? We'd have to reapply for George's, no, his travel stuff. No, the answer is no. And it's never good enough for people who think they have the answer for everything. So, in the end, medical was the last thing that I thought would hit us, and I didn't think it would be this high. So then we went with the self-pay thing. It was fine buying the medications and the extras and showing up if something happened, but something like this, just didn't expect it to. I just didn't, and I thought I could go home. I really thought I could make it home, even if it is sitting in jail. Silly bunnies. Did you guys not think about that one? You can travel to U.S. on cargo ship. Authors do it. Contact Strand Voyagers. Interesting. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'll look into that. Actually, that's the first time I've ever heard that. I don't know why cargo ships. Do I just buy from them and they just give me an actual room? And I wonder why the embassy didn't discuss this. Sure. I never heard that. Anthony means other than you having brutally attacked, having your relationship fall apart, your medical conditions, you're doing okay. Oh, I got you on that. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm blessed that, on the Social Security that I'm on, and that I can actually pay my bills. That's been the biggest relief over everything. And the second part is being with the animals and everything. It sucks. I mean, it sucks like yesterday when I could barely move, but I have to keep pushing forward. So besides that, yeah, I mean, things are good. You know, I can't think of anything on the side. I'm still, when I can enjoy, I am enjoying. And it's, yeah, so overall, but it is very scary. And I don't think a lot of expats count enough on that. All in all, yes. Oh, wow. I had a 199 cholesterol and had a heart attack. I have a stent now. The guidelines are not current. It's dropped. Gotcha. But I mean, if that was so with me being at that number, then yeah, I mean, I guess it can be an indicator what's going on. So that usually indicates, sitting around and eating nothing but then again, not everybody sits around and eats fast food and deep fries everything. So got you on that one. Yeah, travel on a ship. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not aware of any regular ships that go across there, except for it would have to be cargo ships. I'm not aware that there's ships traveling from the Philippines over. If they're leaving from somewhere else, I can't travel at all. I don't even think I'd make it to Manila, and that's 1 hour inside of a car right now. I'll be making it to the bank on Tuesday, and that's barely. So it's, yeah. So if there's anything additional to it, so if it's in another country, a lot of those cruises that are going from one area to another are in other countries, and then the ones that I don't think I'm not going to look that up right now. Okay, so I'm assuming that the walking statement is to walk. I can't, not due to my complications. If I'm falling walking from here to the bathroom and my legs are stiff because of the fluid, walking does not help the fluid when you're in fluid overload. And with these numbers, I challenge anybody, a stroke volume level with a third of their blood going through the body, that they walk. The answer is no. I will have a full stroke and a heart attack. So the answer is no. For those that have been saying, no, guys, why aren't you this? Why aren't you that? That's the reason. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Would an airline even let you fly in the unfortunate condition? Here's the thing. That's another thing. And I've mentioned this. People say it's an excuse. If I carry oxygen, I need a clearance. All 3 doctors will not clear me. Oh, well, then go to someone else and don't tell them. Are you guys listening to yourself? I'm not doing that. I might be shady sometimes, but I'm not going to skip over my regular doctors to get a doctor's note to go on there without air just to get on there. If I carry the air thing, they're going to know something's wrong. And yes, I need a medical clearance, and none of my doctors are going to give it. So it would be, let's take away the heart complications, congestive heart failure, the coronary artery disease, the blood clots, the thick blood that causes breathing issues right now, and all these things going on. The other complication would have been just all my regular medical conditions. So when I came here from Mexico, just being older is it's not comfortable taking those long trips. It's just where it is. So you're right. They're not going to. And people said, oh, just pretend while you're there. No, guys, it's not going to work like that. It just isn't. And somebody said that they'll charge my oxygen machine during the flight. Okay, I'm assuming that's what they'll actually do. It's possible they'll do that. But right now, to get a machine is going to be $500-$600, and then I'm going to have to buy. And yes, it's worth my life. Isn't it worth it? Yeah, it's a big chunk. But each one of the batteries are just as much as the unit, and each one of them does 2 to 3 hours. And you're talking about 16 hours up in the air, and it's a couple hours in between. And even if I do the straight through flight, it's 16 hours. So yeah, just no. No, I don't mean that to you. I'm just saying, yes, nobody's going to clear me. Tony Manning. Aww. Oh, wow, wow, wow. And Tony Manning, go ahead and say what you got to say. You're one of those. Play me a violin for what? What did I do wrong that I'm here, that anything like this would come up and it's a woe is me thing? At least I'm trying to help people. At least I'm letting them know, hey, make sure you do this, this, and that, and that I'm going through this. And if I want to talk about it, that's on me, Tony. Tony, you've been coming around. Pretty sure you got blocked under 2 or 3 names because you go trolling in multiple channels. It's what you do at your maturity level. Okay. And you have one no hell of a life at that point. But the fact you are one of those that would actually come in and talk about play me a violin, you're the same one that says, oh, she deserves to die. She does this and that. Y'all talk about my sex life and me being fat and all that. And it's like, how mature? So it's wild. So there will be people who will be satisfied until they see the funeral. Yeah. And I'm good with that. That's what people don't understand. If I die tonight, I'm good. I'm currently in a state every day that I'm okay. I don't need no man. I don't need this. I don't need that. I'm good here. I was already existing by myself. I was already doing my thing. So I'm going to keep on going on. I'm the one that did everything anyway. So basically, where is it that me, being left to do everything is not a problem? No, of course they're not. But see, that doesn't bother me. I'm 55. I'm ready to go. Every day I'm in more pain than it's actually worth being here. So somebody wishing me dead is like, thank you, man. It's like, I'm going to go when I'm ready to go. So just remember, it could be up to 5 years you're wishing me dead. So I guess it's a lot of content, a lot of comments and everything else. So I keep hearing the machine makes a wheeze poof. What's a wheeze made like that? More wrong than medical science can cure. Pretty much. Yeah. And the complication comes is we're looking at a big percentage that he wants to do the coronary bypass. And if that happens, there's 50-50. I won't live anyways. So if he tells me on Monday it's not a possibility, that'll give the other trolls, multiple channels, a chance to say, I told you. She never wanted the stents, and now she says she won't get the surgery. Now she's just scamming. Yeah, bitches, but I also said the money is for medical. It's for the bed. It's for the machines. It's for everything that's been going on and funeral funds, and it also covers end-of-life care. But 50-50, I'll even survive that. 50-50, your ass would survive that. And have you seen somebody go through open heart surgery? And in the Philippines? Good luck. You tell me how that's going to work out. I'll consider it, but if he clearly states it again, where am I going to get 150,000 US? Mm-hmm. So last person in town that had no complication was 7 million pesos. So one, let's just say, hey, it's not going to happen. 2, 50% chance I ain't going to survive it. Woe is me is right. I'm going to let you guys know. If I want to have a pity party at this point for what's going on, I was going to have a full-on pity party when this started. It's on me. It's my life. Clear as can be. The day my dad died at 37, he weighed in at the doctor's 200 pounds. 18 hours later, 250. Death from the fluid of the heart. Yeah, and I've been dealing with this for at least 2-3 months right now. It's been fluid overload. So sorry to hear that. I've already talked about this, and I mean this in every sense. Since I've entered the country, okay, especially in the last year. So those who watch me can see that I've gotten bigger. For the trolls, it's me overeating. For those that know me, it's my medical and lupus. I have severe lupus. And the problem is that with the fluid overload, I'm on steroids twice a day. Where they think people gain weight? People put on 100 pounds just in steroid weight. I've gained about 100 pounds since I've entered the Philippines. It's fluid overload, and it's the steroids. He's pretty sure 100 will come off of me if I can afford to go in. Now, if somebody wants to finance and send 5,000 directly to the hospital, then that's something different. Then I'll go in and get the fluid off and prove somebody wrong. Put your money where your mouth is that I'm lying and scamming. Send it directly in my name to one of the coordinators over there at AUF in Angeles City. I don't even have to have the money. Send it there and say it's for my hospital entrance. They will take the money. So then I'll enter the hospital. They've got coordinators there and everything else. But until then, I can't get it off. And until then, I'm in major risk right now. But there's nothing I can do. It's the one thing I can do is just, have hope. So besides the fact that you are sick and scared, worried about what is happening. Yeah. I do for a little bit. I'll panic like the bite, but then I panic. I mean, I don't always handle things maturely. Like in the past, I can think of some stuff in stressful times. I've yelled at George. George has yelled at me, and we've gone through things. But within probably an hour, it's just like, okay, I pull myself together and then I get things done, but I do it right now. The difference between me and George is he'll wait a while to take care of things. Or if you wait for him, it's one of those things. He's good at some things and I'm better at the organization of things. For something like that, I had a few tears because of the pain, and it's been hard to walk even on the leg, but I'm like, yeah, I can't let it bring me down. I still got stuff to do, I still gotta, and it was scary, but you gotta pull it together. Yes, you must be new to the game. Guam has public and private hospitals. They take Medicare. I won't be able to make it to Guam. Not getting on a plane. Won't be cleared to get on a plane. More than likely will die from the blood clot. And I will give you the last part. Like people are like, oh, well, you just keep making excuses. The last part is I'm not going to go sit there by myself in a hospital room to recover. So I don't have the finances for that. I don't have the ability to even fly. But unless you really know about Guam hospitals, the last couple expats told me it's not that easy getting into them. And more than likely, I'll go through the emergency room. It's just a no. I'll have to wait around just to schedule surgery and all of that. How am I going to afford just to sit up in a hospital room? So no, it's still flying somewhere. I can't fly or go anywhere. I don't go anywhere. For the last 90 days, I've been at home except for to go to the bank and to go to my doctor's appointments and the hospital. Oh, and sorry, I had lunch one time and I was told that means I'm still living and that I'm not sick. That's good. I'm going to get my Krispy Kreme soon, too. Cats are... What is wrong with that chicken? But at least I got it. Let's see. Man, people can be cruel. Well, it's just stupidity. I don't know. It doesn't change what's going on, and I actually know the truth. So that is the biggest thing is, knowing the truth and everything. Is that, I mean, it is. I don't know. What is there's a name for that. It's not cruel. It's cruel, but it's like when I hear and see that, it's not that, oh my God, they hurt me because they called me fat. It's like I'm wowed out. I'm like, wow. If I attack their channels or attack them personally, or let's say it is their favorite vlogger, sometimes they get butt hurt, then that's fine. But where do you take it upon yourself to say, oh, I hope she dies and she's going to get everything she deserves and you're just lazy and that bite is what you deserve? You'd be surprised. And I'm like, wow. So it's kind of a wonder. It's like, what were they thinking situation? That's where it actually comes in. Thank you, Sarah. I'm just saying where you're in there taking care of the trolls. These are all from the same channel. There's no doubt. Bruce, I'm surprised to see you back there, man. The other Bruce. So, ba, ba, ba. Where is that noise coming from? I keep hearing a noise. I don't know what that is. Thought it was the chicken, but it's not the chicken. Now, as far as you talking about people being cruel, and then I see people asking about family, if they can help or whatever. Yes, I have a son and a daughter. It's not unknown. So, and they will. If I, let's say I get the stents, it doesn't mean I'm out of the dark. As soon as if stents will fix me, okay, then I'll go back for further medical. I already said that. If that means that I won't have the breathing issues, I'll still have other issues. It'll still be a hard trip on me. But yes, my family is still open and I have friends back there and everything. So yeah, that would definitely, but no, they're open. I mean, there's others. I mentioned that my dad doesn't talk to me because I left. I have sisters that say some stupid shit because they got their own complications, but you can't please everybody all the time. They got their own issues. So, nope, it can be, and maybe I did. Maybe being, what's happened, and maybe, but yes, karma can be for me and for other people. Gas and fuel prices are going up again today. Oh, wow. Hey, Harry saying hi to Heidi and all the fan antics. Da, da, da. Yeah, more troops are heading to the region, and he hasn't gotten rid of them. And he just said the same day he said that he's withdrawing from the war because that satisfies Congress, so he can reset it again and reset taking money. Is that he said that he'll blow the crap out of them again, and then he put up another stupid AI thing showing him delivering a baby from the Statue of Liberty, and I'm like, what's really going on? So that kind of stuff scares both sides, the Republicans and the Democrats. And so I think this will continue for a while. And I said what I said. Shit, I may not be here tomorrow. That is the truth. I don't do well with the sick. My wife knows that and she gets mad at me. It's hard for me. It hurts me to see her. The same with me and my kids. And I took that into consideration. A lot of people asked afterwards, after me and George, from Friday, they asked that. And I do take that into consideration. But the reason I was going off is that this has been going on for 2-3 years or more. Actually, he's had a passiveness and a certain way to him. And he said it during the live. He said, this isn't new. I respond to people, everybody. Well, that's fine. But there's a limit. There's a limit to how much you withdraw. He doesn't want to answer. He doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't want to be part of anything. Only if we're having a good time, and we have good times. Do you see what I mean? So if we're not out shopping, if we're not out like having a good time, and it comes to other things, it seems like it's another situation. But he's a good person. I'm a good person. We just have a lot of conflicts lately. Maybe he's under stress. Maybe I am. It doesn't mean that I don't care. So, but hey, Tio Chong. All right, I got to go see what's going on. I'm about to go nuts. Either the chicken is stuck in the fence.
Welcome. Please keep the humidifier bottle clean.
All right, so I didn't have to go far. It's the machine. I don't know if you guys could hear that. I thought it was the AC unit. And yes, it's going to say humidifier because it's got moisture on it. All right, so what was going on is that's the machine making that noise. Yeah, because it's got a dehumidifier built in. No, TT, you can't be up here. Oh, TT! That's Tweety Bear. Get out, Tweety Bear. Yeah.
Oxygen on.
Okay, it stopped. It sounded like... No, there it is again. Huh. I hope this is okay. Oh, God, tell me I don't have to buy a new machine. I don't know if you guys can hear that. No, you can't. No, you can. You should be able to. The microphone's on. Because I was thinking about the speakers. No, it sounds like the gears grinding. Can anybody else hear that? So when I turn it off, it goes away. Tweety, I hear it too. I thought it was the cats or the AC making that noise, which isn't good either. So just what I need. See what I mean? It seems like for me, it's like sometimes I just have one or two things going on, and then it's other things like God testing, the devil testing. And if this goes out, I'm looking at another $200 for an inexpensive one. But I've had this probably, I don't know, a year. So, yeah. With the lupus, my air was dropping. And so we got this a year, maybe. But, of course, it's out of warranty, so great. But you better go, TT. Hey, what's going on, Tia? Late to the show, whose voting rights went away, not in the U.S. There was some things done. I'm not going to go into it. There was things recently changed by, you just have to go look at it. It was a Voting Right Act of something that was established in the 60s. And they went through and said a bunch of stuff. And there's something going on where everybody's having a heart attack over it. And so I get into that stuff and not at the same time. And I will answer that. The answer is yes, we are together. Right now, he's somewhere else. So, no, I mean, it's not over. It was just a tense few days. So, but right now, he will not be doing any more live streams. He's made it clear over time. It just showed the other day. I took the live stream down. It was pretty tense, and that's it. This has happened too much recently, and I got too much going on in my life. I don't have time for this, but we are still together, yes. But right now, he's at the family house, and right now he needs to stay there for a little bit. That's where I'm at. So it was pretty wicked, but he will be here Tuesday is the next time I'll see him. The cats, 2 of them need to be fixed. He said he would do it. George keeps his word. That's one thing. He's a good dad. He keeps his word. He's good with the animals. If he says he's going to do something, he does it. So that I don't have to worry about. So it is the one thing on that part. So he'll be here to take the cats to get fixed. And I have the doctor's appointment on Monday. You ride in cabin of the cargo ship. Yeah, where am I supposed to get 20 or 30,000? Okay. Yeah, nobody's going to finance that, and I do not have that. If I had that, I would be doing other stuff right now. I get it, and I get my life's worth more than that, but I don't have that. I can't get a loan. I don't have established credit cards. I don't have any of that. So, no way to get a loan. That'd be forever paying it back. Forget about it. Yeah. Nope. That I don't. And how long is it? If I'm on a day-to-day basis, how long does it take to go back to the U.S. in a ship? It's got to be a couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even at a fast pace. I mean, I've been on cruises that went just to Mexico from Florida, and that took a while. So unless they were beaten around a few times and went around the island a couple times, I don't know what was going on. But no, I get it. But I'm glad you mentioned it. Maybe somebody wants to sponsor that too. So if somebody wants to do a med flight for 100,000, I will go home with bells on. If somebody wants to do the ship, I will go home. That's not an excuse. That is truth. But the others are not excuses on getting on the plane. Let's see. Okay. Section 2 of the voting rights. Yeah, wasn't that dealing with, there's a lot. And I just still, like people said, things that have been fought for forever are being destroyed. I just open my mouth with awe on some of the things that are being done. Yeah, she's still there. Yeah, that's Stinky Chink. And the other Siamese is called Pinky Chink. And hi, Chink Chinks. It's like Chex cereal, Chink Chinks. I know it sounds racist, and it probably is racist, but it's just a cat. If you all can't take it, then you don't belong here. But I seen that We Are Siamese song again. We are Siamese, if you please. Huh. And I seen him do that dance in that one movie, and I was like, yeah, that's the song I was talking about the other day. But court decisions require plaintiffs to prove intent. With is significant more difficult, introduces new tests to limit ability to establish vote. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. The gerrymandering. They're about ready to draw the line, which will give more to the other side, and they're claiming that it's just gonna, yo, better rise up. Rise up. It's about ready to get crazy. Right? Remember we talked about that? Yeah. About it's kind of cargo ships are very real and cheaper than life flight. Yes, I get that, but I don't have 30,000. If I scraped everything in my repertoire purse, looked under the couch, shook the fucking cats and dogs outside, I'd probably come up with 5,000 total. And you guys can understand they're taking chunks out of the money that was coming in. They take chunks out of YouTube, and yeah, I'd be lucky to scrape 5,000 right now. So I have the ability to fly home. If I can have a total clearance, can breathe, and all this heart stuff goes away, then I'll just go home. People say I just don't want to go home. No, I might, but the other sides of it is a no. Yeah, that is the machine going out. That sounds, I don't know if that's the fan. I thought it was the AC, so I guess I'm glad it's not the AC, but it means that I'm going to need another one of these, which is just another expense right after the live. Cat meow. No, it sounds like the chickens outside, and then you guys are going to hear it in the replay. Yes, we can hear it. Look, Magadano Maga. I have a video from George that he's recorded since, and I'm going to release that. So he went to his aunt's birthday party, and he shows the resort. So that's been done since then. So, like I said, he's going to do videos and the lives. If we're getting along at the holidays really well, I might just be like, okay, no matter what, might have a few shots of tequila myself, give a few to him, and then we'll do a live together. Besides that, guys, I'm just not, no time soon, and I mean at this time. I've said that before, and he said he wouldn't, but no, he's there's too much going on. Yeah, no, there's actually just this, and it's not, and there's only a wire running off the back. It's got the where the water is for the humidifier. And no, that sounds like the fan, and it hasn't been dropped. So it either needs oiled or it's been dropped. Maybe I can get some guy to put some oil or look to see. But I think it's just going out. I think, like George said, they make them at a lower quality here. I think the same machine would be triple the price in the U.S. because this is a 7-liter. And it's got the humidifier on it, and it's got the 93.3. It was approved by my doctor, because if I get the oxygen tanks like they want, it is $22 a day. It's like $600 a month for my day supply, and because they don't last very long. So it's like, where am I going to get $600-700 a month to pay for oxygen in a can, being I need it every day? But I'm going to have to get another one. Another machine. Are you on diuretics? Yes. Currently, I'm on 3 of them. I'm on furosemide, spiractolone, and just recently, I was added to a 3rd one, and I'm worse than ever. Now, here's the thing, and this is also what I'm sure I'll be told tomorrow. When the fluid overload gets so bad and the heart is struggling, it doesn't matter if I drank a little bit of fluid, a little bit of salt. It's just going to stick to me. The water just won't go anywhere. And there's times that I'm not peeing. So even with the increase of a pill, which takes longer to get rid of the fluids, there is a blockage right now. So my stomach is full of fluid, my body and muscles, I'm probably double my size than I normally should be. Again, you guys can see in past videos, this is not my normal face. This is signs of heart problems. And so the pills probably aren't working right now. That's why I need to go into and have the fluids removed and be in the hospital for a week to 10 days. So, but it's because the fluid overload, the meds stopped working. I was trying to find the Siamese, if you please. Spiractolone, enalapril, clonidine, prednisone, hydrochloroquine. I'm on a lung cough suppressant because of the amount of pressure. There's some sort of calcium channel blocker I take at night. Where is... There's the breathing treatment. Yeah, I'll have to find it. I was just put on a 3rd water pill. Yeah, I had to find it. So I'm on a 3rd one, but I think the only reason why I'm feeling better than I did yesterday is I slept with my air on all night, because usually I don't keep it on through the night. And I've just been eating like fruit, just plain everything. I make sure I'm avoiding everything, and that might be the only reason, but I'm still extremely swollen. So I'm on a 3rd one. Sorry to hear you're not doing well. Oh, I call my wife Pookie. Yeah. Hey, Victoria. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'll be going tomorrow. Oh, yeah, right. Enjoy your time. And I know you've been going through things. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I know it's early. This is driving me nuts. I need to see if I could see through there and see it's the fan or something. But also, I'm going to lay down and rest. So I wanted to do this, and I need to rest because I'm going on that outing by myself. So I'm going to take a Grab tomorrow. The Grab goes right up to the door of the actual clinic. I've shown you guys the heart center, and I only have to, it's shorter than a walk to the bathroom. And they're really nice in there. There's plenty of seating, and then I just wait for the Grab by sitting inside. I'm hoping that they can set up the echocardiogram the same day. It'll relook at my heart to see where it is. If it's good news, somehow I'll be improved and just retaining water, but I don't know. So I'll get some stuff and set up for testing and update you guys. And I appreciate everybody dropping in. And thank you everybody. Thank you, Sarah and Victoria, everybody for joining. And so I will keep the same live streams unless like what happened now because I'm out. So then it'll probably be Wednesday then. And then I'll give you an update, guys. I don't know why the lives always got to be noisy and something going on with the mics and all that. So, all right. Take care, guys. Bye.